Portal here with Team Beige. What's up, man? Yeah. And we're at the top 32 YCS Raleigh event. My goodness. Well, please introduce yourself to the world.
Edward Kim from Centerville, Virginia. Just happy to be here. It's my first stop ever, so yeah.
Congrats. With what deck, man?
I piloted pure Snake Eye with cash cards.
Alright, yeah. So when you decided to play this deck post BANLIST?
I figured that I wasn't sure if people were going to swap between hand traps or board breakers, so I wasn't really confident in crossout. So I just wanted something generic that's just good into a lot of things. So I found that cash cards were pretty flexible in that regard. I think moving forward though, I think pure without cash cards might be the wave, but for this event, I mean, it worked out, so yeah.
Before we do, any shoutouts?
Yeah, shoutouts to my boys from Charlottesville. You never forget them. Michael Surratt, he's the goat of Oregon. Shout out to the RVA boys as well over here. Theirs is amazing as well. Shouts to Curio Cavern, best locals in the DMV. I got so much testing out of there. Huge shouts to them. Shout out to my friends and family back home. Just really happy to be here. It's my first stop again. Shout out to Beige Gym on Team Beige. It's pretty cool too. And also Albert for hosting me, letting me stay for free. And Josh for driving me. Other than that, also Karan for letting me use cards out of my tax bracket. So, yeah. Let's start.
Sweet, sounds good.
All right, so pretty standard ratios: 3 Ash, 2 Poplar, 1 Oak, 2 Flamberge, Temple, 3 Witch, 3 Wanted, Original Sin, 3 Bonfire, 1 for 1, and then just Synchron because we're doing synchro plays in this deck. Nothing much. It's pretty much the same pure ratios from last format, so no need to go over that. Next for the cash cards, played 1 Unicorn, 2 Fenrir, 3 Planet, 1 Birth. There was a lot of discussion amongst the people I theoried this with. It was Kranj Pharma, Tyree Tinsley. We eventually came to this ratio, even though Planet does play into Droll. It combos super well with Diabellstar or Wanted to allow you to just send it for free, and then you just have an extra card in your hand basically, which is really strong. And I just had the trade-off, like if they have Droll, they have Droll. I did get Droll a couple times on Unicorn Fenrir, and it was like, cool, I'll just play hand traps with Kashtira control. So it was very strong in that regard. Did win me a couple games, like in top 32, my game 2, I opened like double Veiler and like Unicorn Fenrir. I just did Birth Search, or Unicorn Search Birth, and I just played cash control for game 2. But other than that, yeah, pretty solid, but I don't think I'd play it moving forward, but yeah. For the hand non-engine, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Ogre, which is very different, 3 Talents, and 3 Imperm. I'd say these 9 are pretty standard. I figured that Talents is just a very safe pick because you can use it pretty well going first or second, and take cards in general were very strong for this event, I would say. Ogre was very different. I would say it's a very high impact or low impact hand trap. I think it was fine for today. There was a game like round 8, it was Fire King Snake Eye. He had Crossout in hand and he was doing full Fire King combo. He did Flamberge target IP, and I just ogred his Flamberge, and I turned like 9 interrupts into like 4. So this card was very high impact in that regard. I'd probably play it again. I don't know if it's going to be standard in Top Cut, but I really liked it for this event. Yeah.
What's the main deck count?
Main deck count was 43 cards. Now for the side. 3 Bestials. Wanted to respect Puppet Lock. They could search for Courier, but it's just really nice for voiceless or branded. Just any light or dark deck. It's just always they're just Magma's broken. I do size them versus pure sometimes, but it depends on what I've seen in like their main deck. Next we played 3 take cards. These cards overperformed today. There were so many times where if people didn't adapt to the meta, like they just had Appaloosa, Flamberge, IP. If they don't shotgun Flamberge, you can just go change it hard on Appaloosa. Now all of a sudden, all their interrupts are just turned off, and they need to rely on their non-engine to even stop you at that point. So it was just really strong today. I think as the meta devolves, this could phase out if people are playing around it, but for this event, it was very strong because nobody saw it coming. Next, we played Lightning Storm Duster. These cards are very strong for the decks that kind of just like set 5 or just rely on like stun cards, like Flu, Cash, Runic Stun, big one. Never faced a Runic Stun, but yeah, just you have to have these, I say. Yeah, didn't regret these at all. There's even some times where Fire King Snake, if I see they don't play Sanctuary, I would just side these in, just call spells and traps, blow away their field. Like my final round for round 11, I had a Fire King Snake opponent who ended on like Judgment, Island, and like IP Appaloosa. I had Minecon and Duster, and I just tried to Minecon his Appaloosa, he Judgment in it, and I was like, cool. Lightning Storm, wiped away his Island and blew up his board, and I just went for game after that. Next, the best card in the side in my opinion, 3 Droplet. This card just breaks every single board in the format. It's a little worse than the Fire King, so I still play it, but it's really strong because just turning off the Apple or IP just for that, or even like versus cards that just can't be targeted, like the Voiceless board, this card just FTKs them. And it's also very good to Runic Stun because if they end on Hugin or have Hugin the EMZ, you can anytime just Droplet the Hugin, Lightning Storm their back row, assuming they don't have Judgment, and then just go in from there and just kill them. And the last 3 cards, I played 1 Strike, 1 Anti-Spell, and 1 Called By. This card's just really strong right now with all the take cards, running around, Talons, all that. I needed like 2 going first cards, and I felt like Strike was very solid off of the recommendation from Tyree, as well as Called By. This wasn't in my teammates, or not teammates, but my friend's list, but I felt that was very strong going first, as well as just being a really good out to the puppet lock, since Brandon can't stop this unless it's like Solemn Judgment. So really happy with that. Yeah, I think the side deck was pretty good.
Q&A station, this is for Dragon Bliss. Born year 2010 or later.
Now for the extra deck, gotta play it. Phoenix, it's a little worse without the Link Rebo arrow, but you still have to have it just because you get goes in, something random, you just have to have it. It's also just a way to co-link with Z-Lanthus sometimes, which is really nice. SP, gotta have it. Ida, Dark, gotta have it. Celine, Princess, Z-Lanthus combo, Appaloosa, gotta have it. And then I played the Dispredator Omega Loop. It's very strong because if you know your opponent's just on board breakers, you just hand loop them for 2 and then just hope that the rest of your board's pretty good, which is Dissipator, IP, Princess Engrave. So it's very strong. And then Draco Sack for the combo to make Appaloosa before you use the original Sin. I was on the round 9 Ridden feature, and there was a time where I made Draco Sack, I linked to the IP, brought back Unicorn, asked my opponent anything here. And if he had double hand trap, he had double hand trap, but that puts him on, you better have nib here. And if they say that's okay, I just assume they don't have nib. Or if they have double hand trap, I was gonna lose anyway. So it's very strong in that regard, and I just made a better board after that, which was Appaloosa, IP, or you can just read the feature, but yeah, it's very strong. I kind of missed access code a few times, so if I don't play a cash card, it's just because of access code. But yeah, other than that, that's the deck.
Yeah. Well, after 9 rounds of Swiss, 11 rounds of Swiss, 1,800 players, congrats on top 32, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.